In the summer of 2019, a graduate student crawling through a forgotten cave system in northern Sicily brushed away 2,000 years of sediment and uncovered something that would shatter our understanding of ancient Greece's most celebrated military victory. This single corroded bronze shield, marked with symbols that shouldn't exist, would expose the greatest propaganda operation of the classical world. The Battle of Himera in 480 BC has been taught for centuries as the day Greek civilization was saved from Carthaginian invasion. 70,000 warriors clashed on Sicilian soil. Greek historians claimed it was fought on the exact same day as the Battle of Salamis, a divine coincidence proving Greek superiority. But this shield tells a different story, one that powerful city-states desperately needed to stay buried. To understand why this matters, we need to journey back to the moment when two empires stood at the edge of annihilation, when the Mediterranean world balanced on a knife's edge, and when the truth became the first casualty of ancient geopolitics. Sicily in 480 BC wasn't just an island. It was the richest prize in the ancient world, its wheat fields feeding empires, its harbors controlling trade routes worth more than entire kingdoms. And it was ruled by Greek tyrants who had a problem. Their own people were starting to ask uncomfortable questions about legitimacy. Gelon, the tyrant of Syracuse, had seized power through military coup. His rule was brutal, his taxes crushing. Greek colonies across Sicily were restless. He needed something spectacular, something that would transform him from a tyrant into a savior. He needed an existential threat. Fortunately for him, one was already sailing across the Mediterranean. The Carthaginian Empire, based in North Africa, had been trading with Sicily for centuries. Their merchants, their culture, their temples stood in Sicilian cities peacefully. But Carthage was also expanding, and when diplomatic tensions rose over trade routes, they assembled a fleet. Ancient sources claim 3,000 ships carrying 300,000 soldiers, the largest invasion force the world had ever seen. Except here's what that shield revealed. Those numbers are physically impossible. 300,000 soldiers would require a logistics train that wouldn't be matched until the Roman Empire at its height, 5 centuries later. The food alone would need 600 tons per day. There wasn't a harbor in Sicily that could land that force, but there was something else on that shield. Something that changed everything. The shield bore Phoenician inscriptions, not battle damage, not warrior markings, trade manifests. This wasn't a warrior's shield from a desperate invasion. It was a merchant's property from a commercial dispute. The invasion was likely a trade fleet, perhaps a few dozen ships coming to resolve a conflict over commercial rights. So, what actually happened at Himera? Archaeological evidence paints a very different picture. Carbon dating of the battle site shows destruction layers consistent with a small skirmish, perhaps 2,000 fighters total. The famous mass graves. They contain bodies spanning 50 years, suggesting a cemetery, not a battlefield. But Gelon needed his miracle. He declared that on the same day he defeated Carthage, the Greeks on the mainland defeated the Persians at Salamis. 2 existential victories on the same day. Divine providence. The gods themselves had chosen Greek civilization for greatness. It was brilliant propaganda. It unified the squabbling Greek colonies under his rule. It justified his tyranny. And it required every historian who followed to repeat the lie or be branded a traitor to Greek culture. But here's where it gets darker. Gelon didn't just exaggerate a victory. Evidence suggests he may have orchestrated the entire conflict. Phoenician merchant letters discovered in Tunisia reference a manufactured provocation in Sicily, a staged incident designed to justify military action. If true, Gelon didn't just lie about a battle. He created one specifically to become a legend. This changes everything we thought we knew about ancient Greece. The Battle of Himera isn't just taught in schools. It's cited by historians as proof of Greek military genius, as a turning point in Western civilization, as the day that saved Europe from Eastern conquest. It appears in hundreds of books. It's carved into monuments. And it may have been, from the very beginning, a tyrant's carefully constructed fiction. Modern technology is rewriting ancient history faster than textbooks can keep up. That bronze shield was analyzed using neutron imaging, a technique that can reveal microscopic details about how and where metal was forged. The bronze composition matches commercial Phoenician alloys used in trade goods, not military equipment. The wear patterns show decades of careful handling, not battle damage. Ground-penetrating radar at Himera revealed something even more shocking. The famous battlefield shows zero evidence of mass combat. No weapons caches, no armor fragments scattered across the field, no burned fortifications. What it does show is an extensive commercial harbor complex with warehouses. Himera wasn't a fortress defending against invasion. It was a thriving trade hub. But the most damning evidence came from an unexpected source: ancient climate data. Tree ring analysis from Sicilian oaks shows that 480 BC was a year of exceptional drought. Crops failed, water sources dried up. Under these conditions, assembling and sustaining even 20,000 troops would have been suicidal. The massive Carthaginian invasion fleet Gelon claimed to defeat? It would have found a desert, not a battlefield. So we're left with an uncomfortable truth. One of ancient history's most celebrated battles, a cornerstone of Western civilization's founding mythology, appears to be largely fabricated. A commercial dispute transformed into an existential war. A tyrant's power grab dressed up as divine destiny. And 25 centuries of historians who either couldn't see through the lies or chose not to. The story of Himera forces us to ask a darker question. How many other foundational moments in history are built on convenient lies? How many of the battles we memorize, the heroes we celebrate, the turning points we revere, exist only because someone powerful needed them to? Archaeology isn't just digging up the past anymore. It's forensically examining our most sacred historical narratives and finding them wanting. The academics who discovered these inconsistencies faced pushback. Some historians accuse them of revisionism, of attacking Western heritage. But science doesn't care about heritage. That bronze shield, those tree rings, that ground-penetrating radar, they tell a story that contradicts 2 millennia of accepted truth. And more sites are being examined with these same technologies. More myths are being tested. What else will crumble? Gelon died wealthy and celebrated, worshipped almost as a god in Syracuse. His propaganda worked so well that even today, 25 centuries later, his manufactured victory is taught as fact. But that corroded shield in a Sicilian cave has started to unravel his carefully constructed legacy. The truth, it turns out, is more patient than any tyrant. It waits in the darkness for someone curious enough to dig deeper. History isn't what happened, it's what survived, what was written down, what wasn't destroyed, what served the powerful. But archaeology is giving voice to the objects that couldn't be silenced, the physical evidence that contradicts the official story. In caves and beneath battlefields, the truth has been waiting. And one bronze shield at a time, we're finally learning to listen.